They taunt us because they're like, it's Daifuku, and I'm like, that's not Daifuku. He's not in this episode. Welcome back to a wonderful review of a wonderful Precure, but before we hop into the episode, I actually want to look at some comments. I got 2 comments last week that really stood out to me that clarified some of the stuff from the last episode, and I really appreciate those who took the time to explain some stuff, as well as had some theories, so I'm going to go over them real quick. This is in regards to the dishes that they had to cool down last episode. The dishes are all Japanese summer staples. The noodles are actually chilled somen, a cold noodle dish very different from soba. It's thinner and uses different flour. The cubes are most definitely iced to cool the noodles, while the cola is the dripping broth tsuyu. In the summer, they usually do this flowing somen thing where they basically put the somen through a water slide and spectators catch the noodle with chopsticks, dip it in the tsuyu, then eat it. It's kind of like sushi conveyor belts, but faster. Anyways, the jelly was referring to the cup with the fruits. I'm not exactly sure how it became popular, but the jelly dessert seemed to be huge in Japan, especially when mixed and made with cider or other clear carbonated beverages. In this case, Satoru made it with lemon, lime, cider, like Sprite. It's very easy to make and I encourage you to try it. It's simple, but really good, especially when the fizz mixes with the flavors of the fruit. Coming from user LE2DD8KES7S. I appreciate that. Honestly, all of that sounds really, really yummy. I kind of want to try it. I've heard of the noodle slides though. I've always wanted to try that. That looks so fun. I've always wanted. I have one in my childhood home. We have bamboo, and I tried to make one. It's very difficult, especially since our bamboo is really thin. But I like that bamboo's hollow, and you can do the slide thing. Anyways. Other comment coming from KChristoff100. As you saw, Satoru is living in a huge, secured house and can afford air conditioner for the whole year, so his family must be rich. Actually, I felt strange that there is no super wealthy celebrity cure in the series yet, because they often have one, like Karen in Yes 5 or Alice in Doki Doki. I'm guessing the chocolate-like dessert is a coffee jelly, which is quite popular in summer. They made these filler episodes in a row, probably because they assumed that they might get canceled due to the Olympic Games. That's the point that I thought was really, really smart observation. Because yeah, I was like, there's a lot of filler, but it makes sense that they would plan a bunch of filler just in case any of the episodes had to get moved around for the Olympics. I also know that in the Kansai region, I think last week's episode didn't air just because they were having like a local baseball airing. Instead, that kind of took that children's block. So I think it makes sense that they put filler here to be flexible, as well as make sure that kids are not missing like any juicy plot details for any episodes that they may have to cancel due to sporting events. So I think this was really fair. I think that's a good point, and I really appreciate both of you guys for commenting. Anyways, without further ado, let's get back to the episode. This ends up being a little bit more of a Yuki-esque episode, where we're continuing to sort of like melt her little icy heart and get to know her better as a character through the show, and I like it. I think they've done a great job just progressing her character in general. I do have a bone to pick, because this episode ends up being a little bit about snakes, or the concept of just like slithery creatures. She is out here getting really scared of Ribbon, and I will listen. Cats do have some irrational fears. They do not like cucumbers. They will beat the crap out of a cucumber if you put it near them. But Ribbon is not the one. Ribbon they play with. They think Ribbon's really fun. They like toy with it. She wouldn't be scared. She would like attack it. But yeah, my cat loves Ribbon. She will kidnap my Ribbon and play with it, which does not make for a good time when I get crafty. But yes, we bring up the concept of the Tsuchinoko, which I have never heard of a Tsuchinoko before this episode. I've not heard of their like near mythical creatures before. I've heard a couple of near mythical creatures before, but not this one. So this one I believe is an actual creature that just doesn't show up very often. But I mean, as much as the details I've been finding about it, it's been kind of inconsistent on its prevalence in society. They're just like a snake, but fatter. It's like it's trying to go through evolution, but it kind of geeks. But they're having a fun little event where you go and try to find one as a group, that's cute. I don't really like lizards or bugs, so not my thing, but you know, we love a good celebration. And honestly, I feel like this season has had more summer-themed events than other ones, because we've had already our beach episode, we've had our festival episode, we're now having our big event episode, and then we just had an episode dedicated to the heat of the summer. Like, this is a very summer-packed season. And of course, Satoru has come prepared Because why would we think any less of this little dork? Also, we have Mayu's mom here. Like, she's getting that bag. She's like, trust and believe I will be promoting our business at this festival. Which is also kind of like, that's the cool thing about. I don't know if Pretty Holic in the Precure universe can really be considered a small business, because now it's kind of a franchised thing. It's shown up in different cities. Then again, you have to come in there and wonder, are all the recent Precure seasons taking place in the same universe? Or is it a small business in a bunch of separate universes? We don't know. Could it be Precure Theory? Precure Theory. Does it make any sense when they write it? Never. Ever does it ever make any consistent sense. Either way, we all gather for our little bug event, for our little lizard event. And you know, it's got quite a crowd. Also, I've been told that I need to explain this. So this guy is, I think, the mayor, and his name is Washio, which is a reference to the father of Precure, Washio Takashi. As well as this guy is also voiced by the same voice actor for Bun B from S5. Fun facts all around. This guy's just one big ol' fucking Easter egg. Also, they set off these fireworks when they start, and I'm like, you all are trying to find, like, an animal. I don't think the loud noise is really going to help with that. I mean, maybe it's just my own, like, when I've hung around some snakes and lizards in my time, they don't typically love loud noises. They tend to, go away. Also, Satoru out here with the whole boom mic. Like, is that actually an effective method? Do you just take a whole boom mic and have, like, I cannot imagine that that's gonna work really well. You sit there and, like, put it to the ground and you're like, maybe I'll hear it. And I'm like, does it make much noise outside of scurrying? Because, like, there's a lot of things that scurry. Also, just imagine if somebody, like, ran into the boom mic. That noise would be so loud. Like, if you banged it against a tree. A boom mic? And our queen, Yuki, is not participating. Which mood? I'm like, there are no chairs here, and I am a chair girl. If it is hot, which also I don't know why they're wearing tracksuits in the middle of the summer. But if it were hot, and outdoors, I would like a chair. And that chair will be the ground. Me and Yuki would be doing the exact same thing. We've also run into this little girl with her Shiba Inu. They don't do much, it just is cute. Very cute. Satoru bring all of the items that make no sense to me. I don't understand the concept of a dowsing rod. I'll stay here on my little limb of like, I think that stuff is placebo. I don't think dowsing rods do anything. I don't think they douse nothing. Because like, what? They just like, it points into the direction of the thing you desire. That's gotta be a placebo. That's just gotta be a placebo. Like, it makes sense if it was like tracking like a metal, like it's kind of like behaves like a magnet, but you're finding a lizard, it's not magnetic. I mean, maybe it has iron in its blood too. I don't know. I mean, there's probably other iron. Like, I don't understand dowsing rods. They don't make any sense to me. And then of course we get to the best part of the episode, which is the food. We got some sandwiches, we got some fruit sando, we got some sausages, we got some chicken, we got some egg roll. And then they taunt us. They taunt us because they're like, it's Daifuku, and I'm like, that's not Daifuku. He's not in this episode. You can't just make apples shaped like bunnies and be like, oh look, it's Daifuku. Rude. Daifuku should be in this episode. I don't appreciate this. This was really rude. And then we have Mei roll up. He's like, okay, so are you guys, you know, taking care of that egg? The thing I entrusted you to do? Which, Kumugi brought along. And they're like, yeah, we're all good. Egg all good. And then we bring up the conversation of, we're looking for a Tsuchinoko. And Mei is like, we have a lot of those in the Nico garden. You guys are lame because we have a lot. We have a lot with really pretty eyelashes. And you guys have nothing. To which Satoru is like, you have one? I'm like, Satoru, we've been to the garden a couple of times. I feel like Satoru needs to just like sneakily walk around. Like Mei is his BFF. Like you could get away with walking around the garden and meeting some of the legendary animals. They have several animals there that are extinct, much less hard to find. I just wanted to put this in here because the fruit sando looks so good. That stuff is not remotely healthy despite putting fruit in it. It's a lot of cream, but God, they're so good. We have a little comical bit where we're throwing around the egg, and as the egg comes into Yuki's area, she swats it, as a cat does. As a cat does. All the things in my life that my cat has swatted, when she could just leave it alone. She could just not knock it off the table, but here we are. This is most accurate cat representation thus far. And it, of course, stumbles into the world's most conveniently shaped hole. Like, this is a, like, very convenient hole that no one found. Like, look at it. It's not, like, even, like, hidden in, like, dirt-colored dirt. It's in the middle of the grass. This is very, very apparent. I do wonder because this ultimately revealed to be like a garu is there. Does our wolf guy, does he go around and just like stick the eggs in places? And did he just dig this hole and stick the egg there? I've got questions. This I thought was cute. This is what I thought was really cute, because I will stand by this. Even if Precure has told us and taught us that this is a bad thing to do. I like the sentiment that we can just use our powers whenever. Like Meimei's like, hey, I need you guys to transform and then go get the egg, because we clearly are not reaching the egg in normal form. And I'm like, in other seasons, we have been told that we only transform if there is a true magical emergency. But I say, if we have the power to make our lives easier with magical girl powers, I'd be using my magical girl powers all the time. Like late to school, transform. I can move faster. About to get hit by a truck, transform. I'm not gonna get isekai today. Just saying. You're wonderful though. Tried to use dig, but it failed. Girl, you a dog. I have had dogs in my life, and they can dig. They can dig like they're about to strike oil. Miss Ma'am, dig better. But we get to use the Kiradine hamster power-up, which I like the ears a lot. I'm confused as to what's up with the lightning bolt. Like, I get that's the little gem on his head is the lightning bolt, but like, understand what the lightning bolt is for. And then we have our eye catch. We have an updated eye catch, which I wish these bits were animated. Like, these scenes are incredibly gorgeous. Like, the background's really nice. Obviously, they make them a little bit shinier. They're also promoting the products you can buy. It's just like one big commercial. However, I wish they had animation. It's so pretty. It's so pretty, but I wish it just like was slightly animated. Even if they did puppet animation, I think it's a little bit better with some animation. But they do have a little animated bit here where they're all revealed to be pretty holic. It's cute. It's a good eye catch. Back to our garu of the episode. We have the Tsuchinoko is a garu. And we have the not so reveal that Nyami does not like snake-like creatures. I guess the boom mic, you know, came through in the end. You can listen to the whole battle with the boom mic. I guess that's why we brought the completely unorthodox option of using a boom mic to track the little snake guy. Oh yeah, and it's also, by the way, spoilers, it's a Tsuchinoko, who also is Medusa part-time. You know, this is one of those moments where I have to rethink like how the Medusa lore works, where if you make eye contact with her snakes, it turns you to stone. So like eye contact is like a big thing, but also I feel like that makes sense when like your face turns into a stone, because like they do this for the sake of the episode where she doesn't fully turn to stone, it's just like neck down. I don't know why that bothered me. Mayu didn't make it either. We take out the humans first because of course we do, but she gets rescued by good old Nyami. Satoru used dig. We'll have to check back to see if that was super effective. I give it to Wonderful. She tried this episode. Like, Miss Ma'am actually like really got in there. She gave him a hug and was like, yo, what if we just weren't garuing? To no avail though. I feel bad for her. She really tried. Like, she put a lot of effort in this episode, and there's not really a good explanation for why she didn't succeed. Like, I'm Wonderful, I feel you. You really did a good job. You deserve all the pets because you were a good dog. Yami now has to face it alone, and we have come with the solution of just not looking, which I think, besides it kind of going along with the whole Medusa thing, it's not quite a Perseus solution to this little problem, but I do like that they went with this for her specifically, because cats do have 30 muscles in their ears just for hearing. They can hear real good. And so it makes sense that she can just get away with hearing and not necessarily needing to see the snake. And it works too, because if she sees it, she'll just get scared. Our little baby is trying her bestest, trying her mightiest. But at the end of the day, we do come back and see that several turns later, Satoru's dig was super effective. And we are managed to, I guess, scare the Tsuchinoko into being, like, submissive, question mark? And we can purify them? Also, it's orange. Like, I was like, it's gonna be yellow, because the whole episode we've been like, the Tsuchinoko in this universe is yellow. And then, of course, it's salmon colored, so why do I ever make any guesses, you know? Why do I ever assume anything? Of course, why wouldn't it be like oddly pinkish? It's a Precure. I was a little salty about this because I was watching it with friends. They called me out. And then we send this Tsuchinoko back to the garden. But there might be a regular schmegular Tsuchinoko out there still, much to Yuki's dismay. And that is where we wrap this goofy, silly episode today. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next week. Bye-bye!